Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys all doing during this coronavirus thing, staying home, huh? I was actually reading this article and they said some really interesting things. Do you notice that you always talk to yourself? Do you think you're crazy? Do you worry, am I talking to myself too much, or do I ask myself too many questions and things like that? Huh? Do you ever wonder? Yeah, I used to actually worry if I should talk to a doctor or something about this problem I have where I actually catch myself talking to myself. And I actually talk to myself a lot. And maybe that's why I don't mind being by myself so often, because I always have company. Well, anyway, I was reading this article and it was really, really interesting. What was interesting was they were saying in the articles that I was reading is it's perfectly normal, and it's much more common than we think that people actually talk to themselves. So don't think anything's wrong with you like I did for a while. I was actually getting really nervous about why I was talking to myself a lot. Yeah. But I noticed I've been doing that since I was a child. Growing up there, I was always alone except for my brother. And then when my brother moved away, it was just me. But I always tend to always talk to myself. And actually, I think it's very good, like the article says, because I talk through things a lot by talking to myself in some weird way. I guess I had a discussion with myself. This article I was reading to this lady, this author, Veronika Tugaleva is the author of The Art of Talking to Yourself. Now, it might look strange if you do it out loud in public, right? Of course, we wouldn't do that in public. But we all have intricate multi-level conversations in our heads. As a way to give meaning to and explain to ourselves the things that happen during the day. That's true, right? That's true. It does. I think it helps us vent, because when you do that, I think it lets you think things through. I think that's the way people think things through. Yeah. And for me, hearing it out loud maybe confirms what my action is or something. I don't know. Or reminds me of what I should or what should be doing. Like they said, a lot of times you make a checklist, yeah, in your head, like, okay, do I have my keys? Okay, got my keys, my lunch. You kind of say it out loud, right? So you kind of confirm what your thought was. And for some reason, saying it out loud makes it easier. At least it does to me, right? So it also can have benefits, talking to yourself. And also, when you're going through a really tough time, I think talking to yourself positively helps. Like when I'm going through something, sometimes I'll be like, like if I'm really mad at Brian or something, I'll say, somehow I'm talking to myself, well, hon, and I'll talk out loud about how I'll be talking to him. So when I'm talking to him, it doesn't sound like I'm criticizing him. It doesn't always help, but the attempt, right? So, or like when I used to school my kids, it's kind of nice to practice, how you're going to say it before you say it, right? And things like that. You can kind of practice how the feedback would be and so forth. And a lot of times talking it out to myself or out loud helps me get over things before I get home, especially in a car. Maybe that's why when we're driving, we throw a fit in a car and talk out loud. I guess that's like talking to yourself. But by the time you get to your destination, you're not mad, right? Because you're already like, oh my God, I can't believe you did. I always do it like really, the person's just doing the normal thing, but I'm irritated. But just venting makes me feel good, like therapy. So they also said talking to yourself helps. A lot of people do that when you have a lot of emotional stress or just all kinds of stress, right? Especially when you're going through some really tough, difficult times. Any kind of things, life itself, relationships, your children, all that good stuff. Anything that you have like really strong emotions, something to just shit your gut. Talking it out like that to yourself just helps. And sometimes it's better to say things on the side to yourself than actually venting to another person who you might hurt or hurt your relationship or say the wrong things, right? You don't want to do that. So it's better just to walk away and just talk under your breath. I think a lot of people in Hawaii, we kind of do that, right? You were like, stupid, right? Oh, and they said like when you like have stress, you know, maybe you have a presentation or something, you can talk yourself into doing what you got to do. Or you got a doctor appointment, you talk yourself, you know, like, oh gosh, you know, I saved all that money, I came all this way, you know, I drove like 5 miles to do this, so I better make it right. Or you know what, like say a contestant for American Idol, they got to do their best. They have to talk to themselves all the time, making sure that they convince themselves they worked really hard and you can do it. You know how you go, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. Talking to yourself, I know I can, right? To-do list. You always talk about your to-do list. You always say things out loud, right? Because it's easier. Shampoo, conditioner, soap, toothpaste, toilet paper, right? You gotta just keep talking to yourself. And it helps. Saying it over and over and over. What you gotta get. One thing you can do that's really bad is talking to yourself in a bad way. Like if you put yourself down, if you put yourself down like, you know, I'm always fat, I'm very unattractive, why you always gotta act so stupid? Don't do that kind of stuff because you're sabotaging yourself. That's not a productive thing to do. That's not good. Remember, we gotta try go up. Don't try to get rock bottom so you can go up because that's not good. Well, look at the world now. I think we all can see that it could be worse, and it still can be worse. You know, we can lose loved ones, we can lose money, we can lose homes. So many things can happen right now. The unknown is going on right now with this coronavirus. We all really, really need to do our best to be kind. So if you have something bad to say or something mean to say it under your breath, you know, on the side, talk to yourself. Talk yourself out of feeling pity for yourself and being a victim. You know, we have to avoid being victims. Because you know what? Someone's always got it worse. Look at some of these people you read about who have family members, like a whole bunch of them dying, you know, in their family are all sick. Right? So let's all give yourself good pep talk. Like, oh, okay, I better get out of this bed. You know, I'm not doing anything productive here. Maybe I'll go clean out the closet or organize the closet or something like that, right? Like instead of grumbling, oh, I don't have clothes, go look at the clothes you have and let's go over it, you know, why you have the time, things like that, you know. Instead of, I don't know, we just have to talk to ourselves better. Instead of just saying, oh, I'm fat. Say, okay, what can I do? Maybe I cut back today, maybe eat some yogurt or whatever. I don't know, you know, but maybe we got to just start doing stuff instead of acting like victims. I mean, you read the news. There's many people who just act like victims, right? About every little thing. It's like, my God, there's bigger things, right? I also said that if you learn to talk things out, you know, even if it's with yourself in some way, you can learn to, you know, weigh things. You know, maybe you can be more neutral because you're in the middle of whatever you might be thinking, left or right, you know, but at least you're more neutral thinking, You won't be so defensive. How can you be so defensive with yourself? Well, I guess you could, if you really wanted to. What do you mean? Cause, you know, I told you. No, I don't think that would be right. Why? Okay, that would be nuts. Okay, so not like that. One thing good is when you make emotionally neutral, if you make neutral mannered decisions, okay? If you're like really neutral with your decisions, I think it would just be much better. You make more rational decisions, okay? And based probably more on facts instead of emotion, right? This, I agree. I agree. One thing good about talking to yourself, it brings awareness, yes. I agree with that. It says not just your thoughts, but the words you say to yourself, yes. You start becoming more aware of just things in your head. Yeah, because sometimes you just think things and it comes and goes so quick that you really didn't get time to really think about it. You know, you just don't. Oh, they said talking to yourself is tied to mindfulness, a practice that is becoming increasingly popular. Interesting. Mindfulness comes first because it brings awareness, not only one's thoughts, but the words people mutter to themselves. So this article is called, Is It Normal to Talk to Yourself? Let's see. This is back in 2019. The Wellness. I'll put the link on the bottom so you can read it. It's by Terry Coles. I really like it. I thought it was a really, really cute article. I'll put the link on the bottom. Yeah, I like what some of these people have to say. I think especially now during the virus crisis, you know, it's good that we maybe talk to ourselves to stay positive. Like, oh, you know, I know I'm bored, you know, what can I do? So maybe like organize your house or something. I know it really sucks, but a lot of times our excuse that we don't do a lot of the things we have to do is because we don't have time. So like exercise. I've seen a lot of people going outside walking, and I think that's good, just getting some vitamin D, you know, and just moving around, you know, our muscles and stuff, just moving around instead of just sitting home. And well, we have to sit home, but you know what I mean, even at home we can stretch and you know, just take care of yourself a little bit more. Yes, take care, be more, it'll give you more positive energy. If we just eat like crap food and do absolutely nothing in the house, I think that's bad. That's why you have to watch that dancing video, you know, that I've been watching, that I saw on the news yesterday. That was really good. Gives you, watch videos, watch things that make you upbeat, listen to music that makes you upbeat. You know, like I have a hard time listening to, well, now I can listen to sad songs because I'm not sad, but when I'm going through a hard time, maybe at the very beginning I might listen to sad songs, but usually I kind of steer away from it because I don't like feeling sad. I don't like being a victim. Yeah, I don't like feeling like a victim. That really sucks. That really sucks. I try not to, you know. Our whole life, I think part of the time, my brother and I always felt we were a little bit of a victim, you know, growing up. But, you know, when we got older, we realized that we can choose our own paths, right? And we can do whatever we want to do. We choose what we want to do, right? Yeah, we do. We're the ones who make choices. You know, and it might be good too, like even I think for children to, if they're talking to themselves, it's not crazy. I think they're doing the same thing, you know, and I think that's smart. Yeah, that's smart. They talk themselves through stuff. I think that's really, really, really important. That's what also, that it can be very healthy. So I feel really good now. I feel really good about the fact that I'm talking to myself. Yeah. And I actually did it on a daily basis, like all the time. Sometimes I realize I'm talking loud and I have to be careful, my thoughts. That I don't know, it's a different story if I can't control myself, like saying it loud instead of in my head. Sometimes I do that in front of like people, like my mom. It's really good is like during hard times, you know, our minds take us to dark places, right? Which is true like now, right? Like when you think about, oh, no more toilet paper, or we might get really dark, right? Oh my God, what am I gonna do, right? You hear about people sticking paper towel and that's, okay, I'm never gonna go there. Really? Right? You're supposed to only stick toilet paper in the toilet. Not even Kleenex. Kleenex shouldn't go in the toilet too. I mean, when you see your Kleenex commercials, they make it so it doesn't rip, right? Toilet paper breaks down, but Kleenex is not supposed to break down so then you can blow your nose and it won't rip to your through your fingers, right? Duh. So anyway, so they said there is no downside to self-talk. Yay! I'm gonna talk to myself all I want. Making it a habit is a good idea. Yes. Picking a time. Okay, I don't know about picking a time or place for self-talk, so I do that all the time. You know, a lot of times when I used to talk to when I always talk to myself, you know, you always wonder if it's related to mental illness. And they said sometimes it is, but not like basic self-talking like us, but some people do who actually hurt themselves too. That's different. Yes. Like the only thing I hurt myself is eating a lot at one sitting. If it's going to harm you, self-harm, that's what it says, then that would be different. Yeah, like cutting and hitting yourself. I don't know, I don't know how they're gonna do that. Or if you start saying, it says if you're talking to yourself, repetitive phrases, mantras, or numbers, and okay, where you can't stop, that's different. I'm just talking about regular babbles through the day, like, oh my God, I can't believe the traffic was so bad. Made me so mad. You know, that's different. That's self-talk. Or I can't believe Brian went to the store and bought 10 bags of potato chips. He really didn't, but you know what I mean? Something like that. So basically, I guess what it's saying, as long as it's a positive thing, okay, if you start doing repetitive things or anything that can harm you, okay, that is not normal, okay. But if it's a good thing, it's like meditating. Sometimes you just need to talk to yourself so you can go deep into yourself and things like that. I think that's going to be helpful, yeah, especially during times like this. Talking to yourself, especially if you live alone, you probably have to talk to yourself more, right? Like, oh, should I go clean this living room? Yeah, I should. Maybe I should put it over here. Maybe I should put the lamp over there. That kind of stuff is good, right? Kind of makes at least time go by a little bit faster, I would think, too. Okay? So anyway, I thought that was really, really interesting. I thought that was cute because, you know, I always worried that maybe something was wrong with me, that I was kind of talking to myself, not talking in my sleep. Well, I don't know if I talk in my sleep. Only Brian would know that. But at least I know that this habit does have benefits, so that's good. I never worried about talking to myself in the car because people probably think I'm just singing a song, right? Or talking on a Bluetooth telephone. So anyway, so that is my little fun tip for the day. So is it normal to talk to yourself? Yeah, I thought that was interesting on the internet, reading some of that. I saw it on MSN. I also saw it on this link. So I'll put two of the links below so you can read the article. I think it was fun. It's good. Yes. And hopefully it will help. You can all mutter to yourself, have good conversations. Yeah. Okay. So you guys take care. I will talk to you. And you know what? Stay safe. Okay. Disinfect. Wash your hands. And stay inside, okay? Just store home, pick up medicine home, that kind of stuff. Okay, you guys all take care. We're all in the same boat. You take care.